spiritual bath for this full moon. I wanted to record this video to, two birds, one stone, because I had a message about letting go, forms of letting go specifically. And what ways can you release things? What ways can you let things go? Well, one is the spiritual bath. And what's in this bath water is simply Epsom salt, and I got bubble bath. There are other ways or other things that you can add to the water, but I like to keep things simple and not overcomplicate things. And of course, with the Epsom salt, there's also a little bubbly in there, and also I Reiki the water. Put some Reiki symbols in the water, and I spoke my intention into the water. So spiritual bath is one thing that you can do while you're in the water. Just imagine all the things that you're letting go being washed off of you. That's one. You can actually imagine taking a spiritual bath just by seeing yourself sitting in the water. And when you're seeing yourself sit in the water, you are, verbally releasing things while you're using your imagination. You can also imagine that you have a cord or a ribbon or a rope or a chain in your hand, and attached to the other end are the things that you want to let go of. If you can, use your imagination and you see that within your mind. With your other hand, your dominant hand, you have a knife. Maybe you have a pair of bolt cutters to break the chains. Maybe you have Archangel Michael's sword to cut the chain or the rope or the string. No matter what it is, you can imagine these things as if it's actually happening in front of you. And you do that as many times as you need to do it, and that is a form of releasing. That's a form of letting go. What else? You can also imagine yourself walking into the ocean, salt water. Salt water is good for cleansing. And imagine that everything's being washed off of you, and you come out of the water lighter and brighter, not as heavy. There are many forms of letting go. There are breathing. Breathing is a really good one, for the simple fact that when we breathe, we are letting something go. When we inhale, we're inhaling the oxygen that the trees have provided for us. As we exhale, we're releasing the carbon, I think it's carbon dioxide. Dioxide, monoxide, one of them. We're releasing it. We no longer need it. Inhaling, and then exhaling. That is a form of releasing. What can you come up with as a form of releasing? Whatever it is, use it to let go of what no longer serves you. It is not going to help you where you're going. It's not. When we're letting go of people, places, and things, situations, feelings of lack and of unworthiness, low vibrational ways of thinking and perceiving things, we're letting those things go in exchange for the things that we want. Where we're going, we can't use those same tactics Where we're going, those things may not be, useful tools. We may have to find other ways of doing things. Moving on to the next thing means we're being upgraded. We're leveling up, which means the things about us are leveling up, which means we have to find other ways to do what we're doing. We cannot hold on to the old way of thinking or old way of doing stuff, because it could keep us in a cycle. It could keep us in a loop. It could have us repeating a lesson. Like once we become aware of the cycle, it's our responsibility as creators of our reality to do something about it. And understand, once we become aware that there's something that we need to do, if we don't do it, not only will we repeat the cycle, it may be worse the next time around. So the longer you hold on, the worse it'll get. Like, God makes us uncomfortable because he's given us or wants us to have the things that we're asking for. And you can't do that if we're holding on to the chains. Sometimes we hold on to things so tightly that we end up injuring ourselves. If you can imagine holding on to something so tightly that when you can see the blood coming out of your hands. Yeah. It's like the equivalent of poisoning yourself. Stagnant energy is a form of poison, no different than stagnant water. What happens to water when it doesn't, have a place to go? It's just trapped where it is. It starts to become stale. It starts to become nasty. It's poison. You ever drunk water that was stagnant? You know how much unhealthy bacteria and parasites is in that water? It's poison. Not letting go of the things we need to let go of is a form of poisoning, and it is self-infliction, self-sabotage. We gotta let it go. I don't want to poison myself. Once I become aware of the cycles and become aware of the lesson that's being taught, once the triggers come up and I'm aware of it, then I know I don't have to respond in the same way. I know I can just let it go. I know I don't have to carry it. I know I don't have to tether myself to it. I don't have to do any of that. I can just simply let it go. And as I let it go, I'm saying to God that I'm ready. I'm ready for the next thing. I'm ready. And the next thing is going to be bigger and better. Upgrade always is. Whether it's being positive about how we perceive ourselves. Like, that's an important one. It's important. I've started I've changed the way I perceive myself. I for a long time I just did not accept the female part of me, because for so long I felt like I was, not necessarily in the wrong body, but I felt more comfortable being masculine, and I accepted that. When I was younger, I remember feeling the difference and saying as a child, God made a mistake. I was supposed to be a boy and not a girl. And then, within the past 3 years, I figured out that I was wrong. I was completely wrong. And I believe it was at the end of 2020 where I came to the realization that not only did I choose to be here, like I wasn't here by accident and it just didn't just pop up. Not only did I choose to be here, I chose this body. And with that awareness and acceptance of that, I started to integrate more with my feminine side, end up integrating more with the masculine side and merging, which is the divine union. You want your masculine side and your feminine side to become one. That is the unity. That is the Trinity. And also, when I did that, I lost a lot of weight. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention or noticed the weight difference, but I lost a lot of weight. Prior to 2020, like nearing the end of the year, I struggled staying below 200. Like the heaviest I had been was 230 pounds. And, I would hit the 199 and I probably would get to 195, but it just would not, I would not stay there. But once I accepted that I chose this body and my mission was to find out why I chose this body this lifetime, the weight just came off of me. And like right now, I'm at a solid 185. I've been lighter. I think the lowest I've gotten was like 175. But, I think I look, like I'm sick when I'm in the low to mid 170s. But I did. I lost a whole lot of weight and I've kept it off. And since then, I've had moments, a lot of periods in my life after that I was eating a bunch of crap. And it's like, no matter what I did, even if I had the water weight, even if I was, wasn't drinking enough water and I was eating a bunch of processed foods and things like that, I just wouldn't reach the 200 mark. Now, I'm, currently doing my best to take better care of my body since, I need the body to get around and to do the things that I need to do. And so I do things better. I am hydrated. I make sure that I'm eating good foods that I know my body likes, But I'm lighter. As soon as I accepted Charlene and integrated Charlene with Sean, the masculine side, I was fine, at least physically fine. Also at that time, I experienced depression, and that was just me being in my feminine form and having to really accept it. It was just a part of what I had to go through. But I was able to come out of that, and sometimes it tries to creep up on me, but I do my best to focus on something positive and not be stuck in the past. Being stuck in the past means that I'm holding on to a ghost. I'm holding on to something I cannot change. And I don't want that. So I do my best to stay in the present. since then, it's been a wonderful journey for me to learn about me, you know, to see Charlene go through all the things that most girls go through. Luna, back up. You cannot get in here. Goodbye. Luna, you cannot get in here. Thank you, boo-boo. Okay, let me fix my camera. What was I saying? See, she threw me off. But the gist of it was accepting who I am and letting go of what I am not. I had to let go of this perception that I had of myself. In doing that, I had to challenge everything that I was telling myself. Like everything. Like, yes, I was left unprotected as a child, as a girl child, and I had experiences that had affected my adult life. I wore masculine clothes, not just because I felt comfortable in them, but because I felt safe in them. I felt like if I wore masculine clothes, people wouldn't fuck with me. I also felt like with the clothes, I would be perceived a certain way. I would be perceived strong. You know, I would be perceived these masculine things that I actually admired. I also thought that I was keeping Charlene safe. I thought I was creating a deterrence. Is deterrence? I don't know if that's a word, but I felt like it would deter men from seeing me in that way. I didn't want to be desired by a man. I didn't. The trauma that I experienced, you know, I just did not trust men. Give or take a couple of them who I've grown close to and I trust them. One of them is my brother Major. I trust him. I know that I'm safe around him. I'm safe with him. I know that when I'm with him, nothing's going to happen to me. Not that anything would happen to me, but you know what I'm saying? Certain men I feel safe around. Now, I'm just cool. Unless I get a vibe about you, and then I just don't fuck with you at all. And there are some men that I speak to, you know, I could speak to and it be cordial, casual, but it doesn't mean I fuck with you. I'm not going to go hang out with you, just me and you. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not. But I put on a masculine guard, I put on a male clothes, feeling like I would be able to protect Charlene that way. But the longer I did it, the more it became a prison for Charlene, because I felt like, you know, like I started, just the idea of wearing girl clothes was just like a fucking no. No, I'm not going to put on this dress. You know, and if I do, it's going to be for show. I'm going to give the people a show. And I still feel like that. If I, you know, dress up like that or wear a wig or have makeup on or whatever, you know, it's for show, because I know that's really not me. But what I have done, or what I have incorporated, is being okay wearing shorts that are above my knees. Being okay wearing jeans that are tight or that fit. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel comfortable in them. I feel attractive. to myself, you know, like I feel pretty good. But back in the day, actually not that long ago, 2020 was not that long ago, you wouldn't see me in tight pants or fitting pants. It would always have to be baggy because I didn't want you to see my shape. I didn't want you to see anything feminine because I did not want to be perceived or sought after in that way. But I had to let that go because there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my body. And I've gotten my friends tell me, you know, and I've been telling myself that I look pretty good. I look really good in my clothes and out of my clothes. I'm grateful for the body that I have. I'm grateful that I chose this body. I'm grateful. And so, in embracing that, I feel lighter and I feel, you know, my self-esteem has gone up tremendously. I have started wearing clothes that I normally wouldn't wear, you know, thanks to a friend, helped me get my wardrobe together. I'm out here looking fly and shit. But it all started with me having to be honest with myself and then hold myself accountable. And then to you know, bust down those doors and those walls that I had put up that was intentionally or initially was supposed to protect me, but became my prison. I had to set Charlene free because I'm worth it. I'm worth it. So, you know, letting go really, really, really is important. It will change your life because you are worth it. You are worth it. I promise you are, but I want you to find out for yourself. Find out how worthy you really are and how much how much of whatever you really deserve, whatever it is you want. The Bible says he will do exceedingly abundantly above anything we could ever ask for. So that's exciting to me. I'm up there, Lord, can I borrow 20? Can I have $20 to pay this bill? You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to make it, just $20. And you end up getting 100 or 200 or whatever. It's like God will always exceed your expectations. Always. But that's all I got. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video. Love you.